Hello everyone, this is Shilpa Adurkar, lecturer in physics, Government Polytechnic Nagpur. Today I will discuss about the carbon footprint calculation for the fulfillment of tasks given by International FDP on Environment and Sustainability carried out by D.Y. Patil College of Engineering Akurdi in association with United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization and UNESCO. In the last 2 weeks, I have presented the videos on topic semiconductor in week 1 on YouTube, the link of which is given in this slide. The number of views are 17 and number of likes are 5. And in second week on the topic, that is ISO related to semiconductor industries, the number of views are 50 and the number of likes are 22. The outcome of this video is, after learning through this, the student will identify various ISO standards, learn about carbon emission, calculate carbon emission footprint using various online sites, optimize the carbon emissions by sustainable computation. Now, why ISO standard? In week 2, I have presented the ISO used in semiconductor industries. According to the International Standards Organization, international standards brings technological, economic and societal benefits. They help to harmonize technical specifications of product and services, making industries more efficient and breaking down barriers to international trade. Conformity to international standards help reassure consumers that products are safe, efficient and good for environment. In the electronic market, the standard help serve the role of quantifying the quantitative. What does it mean if the product is reliable, safe or green? There are standards for all of these qualities and more for product and services in many markets. ISO 9000 standard quality management has always been a critical aspect of semiconductor manufacturing, given the complex process of fabricating, assembling and testing semiconductor devices. As such, semiconductor companies have always tried to set up quality management systems that meet world-class standard. Over the last few years, the ISO 9000 have become the most popular quality standard in the semiconductor industry, with practically all major semiconductor companies rushing to get ISO 9000 certified. In fact, the semiconductor companies not ISO certified would find it difficult to do business, given that specification is a basic requirement of would-be customer. The ISO 9000 series of standards was developed by the International Organization of Standardization. The ISO 9000 currently has 3 quality standards: the ISO 9000-2000, the ISO 9001-2000 and the ISO 9004-2000. Of these, only the ISO 9001-2000 outlines specific requirements of compliances, while the ISO 9000-2000 and ISO 9004 and 2000 merely present the information or guidelines. All these quality standards are process oriented and not product oriented. This means that ISO 9000 is more particular about how a company conducts its processes and not what products it ships or level of product quality it has. The main objective of ISO is to facilitate international trade by providing a single internationally accepted set of standard for everybody's reference. Benefits of ISO standard. There are 8 benefits of ISO standards: managing regulatory requirements, quality, employee safety, meeting regulatory requirements, continual improvement, encouraging innovation, mitigation risk and facilitating trade. Now, in week 3 and week 4 video, I am discussing about the carbon emission footprint. So, what is mean by carbon emission footprint? A carbon emission footprint is historically defined as the total greenhouse gas, that is nothing but the GHG emissions, caused by an individual, event, organization or product expressed as carbon dioxide equivalent. The greenhouse effect is the process by which the radiation from the planet's atmosphere warms the planet surface to a temperature above what it would be without this atmosphere. Light energy, the white arrows, emitted by the sun warms the earth's surface, which reflects the energy as heat, these orange arrows, that warms the atmosphere. Much of the heat is captured by the greenhouse gases molecules such as water, carbon dioxide and methane. The causes of carbon emissions. These greenhouse gases can be emitted through population growth, living standard, energy consumption, land clearance, that is deforestation, industrial processes like manufactured goods, materials, transportation, agriculture, burning of fossil fuels, and production and consumption of food. In most of the total carbon footprint cannot be calculated exactly because of inadequate knowledge of data about the complex interaction between the contributing process, including the influence of natural processes that store or release carbon dioxide. The global average annual carbon footprint per person in the late 2010 was 0.7 tons carbon dioxide equivalent food, 1.1 tons from the home and 0.8 tons transport and 0.8 tons the other. Measuring carbon footprint. An individual's, nation's and organization's carbon footprint can be measured by undertaking the GHG emission assessment, a life cycle assessment or the other calculative activities denoted as carbon accounting. Once the size of a carbon footprint is known, a strategy can be devised to reduce it, for example, by technological development, energy efficiency improvements, better process and product management, change green public and private procurement GPP, carbon capture, consumption strategies, carbon offsetting and others. Calculating the carbon footprint of industry, product and service is a complex task. One tool industry uses, that is life cycle assessment, it is nothing but the LCA, where the carbon footprint may be one of the many factors taken into consideration where assessing a product or services. The International Organization for Standards has that is nothing but the ISO 14040-2006 that has a framework for conducting an LCA study, which provides further sophisticated tools for quantifying, monitoring, reporting and validating or verifying of greenhouse gases emission and removal. The another method is through greenhouse gas protocol, a set of standards for tracking greenhouse gases emission. The greenhouse gas protocol is mostly used international accounting tool for government and business leaders to understand and quantify and manage greenhouse gas emission. Carbon footprint calculator. There are numerous sites to calculate the carbon footprint, that is tatapower.com, carbonfootprint.com, website carbon.com, carbonindependent.org, conservation.org, out of which here I have given one calculations using the tatapower.com. Here I have taken the number of person as 8 in for the month of January 2011. Then the petrol used is 70 liters. The number of LPG used is 3 and the electricity used for that month is 384 kilowatt hour. And for this the my average annual carbon footprint in tons of CO2 is calculated as 2.66 tons of CO2. Next, the sustainable computing. The sustainable computing is the latest technology and it provides the environment for reduction of energy requirement and resource optimization in edge or cloud computing infrastructure. In order to reduce our emissions most effectively, we need to know where they come from. Our study shows that our emissions come from 4 areas: transportation, home appliances, and other energies, users in your home, your food, and all the stuff you buy. The first one is transportation. The transportation is the biggest area and the vast majority comes from cars and trucks. Almost all of us, our cars are the single biggest personal contribution to the climate change. That means when it comes time to buy your next car, choosing one with the best possible gas mileage that meets your family's needs offers one of your biggest opportunity to cut emissions. The second one is home energy use. The home energy use from all the electricity we use to power our appliances and electronics is another big source of your emissions and one with lots of room for reductions. For example, compact fluorescent and LED bulbs give you the same amount of light while using 1/4 of the electricity or less. So you have to shut off your incandescent bulb entirely for 3 out of every 4 days to achieve the comparable saving. Next one is food. The food account for a sizable portion of our emissions. Of course, we all must eat, but if you want to make cuts here, your best option is to reduce your consumption of meat, especially beef. That's because a pound of this meat is responsible for some 18 times the emission of pound of the sabji roti. An average family of 4 that decides to cut their meal intake in half could avoid roughly 3 tons of emissions annually. The last is stuff we buy. From tangible items like clothes, furniture to services like haircut and healthcare accounts for the remainder of our personal emission. These purchases are spread across so many categories, it is hard to get sufficient reduction from single choice. That said, simply buying less stuff or purchasing recycled or reclaimed items can significantly trim your personal emissions. The average carbon footprint for a person in United States is 16 ton, one of the highest rate in the world. Globally, the average is closer to 4 tons. To have the best chance of avoiding a 2 degree centigrade rise in global temperature, the average global carbon footprint per year need to drop under 2 tons by 2050. Lowering individual carbon footprints from 16 tons to 2 tons doesn't happen overnight. By making small changes to our actions like eating less meat, taking less connecting flights and lines, drying our clothes, we can start making a big difference. Thank you.